Thank you to Loic Nadal Guay for their generous donation on Patreon and for not getting mad at me for possibly butchering their name. If you'd like to join them in their generosity, the link to my Patreon page is in the description. The sagebrush is getting thicker as we climb the slope. Pretty soon we're almost to the top of the canyon trail. I ain't been this high up in a while. Not since getting to Echo. I take a look at my watch. Almost noon. We've been walking since dawn. Counting the breaks we took, it must have been about 7 hours. I can definitely feel it wearing me down, and I'm used to moving a lot during the day. Can't imagine what Cliff must be going through. Starting to wonder if I'm even gonna have the energy to run tonight. I got it either way. I ain't sticking around. Almost there now. Just a little longer.
Is there shade at the top?
Some. And a tree stump or two to sit on.
Good, I can't feel my paws anymore.
I can't either. I need to wring out my shirt.
Ew! We can rest for about an hour. Perhaps we can try some of our rations.
The trek down should be easier. Where are we gonna make camp tonight? Jebediah points to the forest stretching down below us. Might not look like it, but there's a stream running down there we can use to wash up and fill our flasks. And the trees provide plenty of cover. Good. Makes it easier to slip away.
That forest is gigantic. What if we get lost?
I've been there more times than I've drawn breaths at this point. Y'all follow my lead and everything will be hunky-dory. I can tell by the look of his pouty little face that Cliff isn't too satisfied with Jebediah's answer. Murdoch notices it too, clapping the weasel on the shoulder. We'll be fine, Cliff. Cliff relaxes.
Sorry, it's
Just that everything needs to be perfect, we know. Cliff laughs sheepishly.
Yes.
He sighs, pushing his glasses further up his snoot. The lenses are starting to look a little foggy.
Pardon. You probably think it's a bit strange of me to worry so much.
We're all a little strange. The wagon comes to a halt, the wheels creaking. One of the donkeys starts balking. We're here. The relief that comes over me when I finally sit down on a tree stump more than makes up for the agony of getting here. I look out over the woods and the canyon down below. They stretch out for miles and miles, so dense that I can see the ground underneath. I can't see the ground underneath. Don't see this much green in Echo, that's for damn sure. Jeb's checking some supplies we unloaded from the wagon. He urged Cliff to take a break, but there the weasel is, running his little paws over every crate and bag to make sure everything's in there. Got everything you need, Professor? Takes his satchel from the heap of things still on the wagon.
Everything is accounted for. I suggest we get some rest.
You ain't got to tell me twice. First thing I do is decide to take off my shirt. Sweat's starting to remind me of the hip a little, and I feel a need to clean myself. I feel the need to clean myself coming up. I got more than one pair of eyes on me. Murdoch whistles. I've been told the views up here were nice, but I wasn't quite expecting this.
Murdoch!
His tone's admonishing, but the stoat's ogling me too. As is the horse. When I lock eyes with Jebediah, he immediately turns around, pretending to take care of the donkeys. I don't pay it any mind. I'm used to folks looking. It really is a sight to behold. Keep staring like that, and I'm going to ask for a payment. He clears his throat, gesturing to the trees. I was talking about the canyon.
Sure you were.
Cliff pads on over, and I press my legs together to give him some extra space on the stump. He doesn't hesitate one bit, leaning up against me and tucking in his tail. His ears are red.
Do you mind?
Not at all. You're smelling rather strong, and not at all like flowers this time. It's musky, earthy. Ugh. It is a bad smell. Ugh. But it's surprising what's underneath all that perfume. He lets out a shaky breath. He tries to relax, but before long, he's fidgeting again. I put a paw on his back. You okay?
Very. I dare say this is the most I've enjoyed myself since... well, since I met you, Sam.
It's a bit too much, but I'll let the weasel have his fun for just today. It's the last day I'm his. That good, huh? I whisper so Murdoch and Jebediah can't hear and give his arm a squeeze. He squeaks.
That good.
He closes his eyes, breathing out through his nostrils. You're fidgeting.
I'm just anxious to get started on my research is all. I suppose I can start right here. The rumors Jebediah mentioned should be easy to verify.
You mean the ones about the voices?
Yes. I doubt their veracity, but it'll make for a fun experiment. Though I think I might enjoy the shade a little while longer. Heavens, I wish I could take a bath right now.
He yawns and gets comfy against me, lidding his eyes. Next to us, Murdoch gets up off the ground, dusting himself off with a grunt. I'm going to be taking some pictures of the canyon, if you don't mind. The weather's perfect for some nature photograph. It's aimed at Cliff, but the weasel's already fast asleep against my chest, snoring softly. Murdoch tisks. If you need me for anything, I'll be a bit further down the trail. Just be careful of where you walk. Of course, I don't want to break any of my equipment. Or your neck. Murdoch chuckles. Jebediah, what do you take me for? A rookie. I'm hurt. Well, I'll watch my footing if you watch my things. We're leaving in an hour. I know. He walks off, camera in his paws. Turn to Jebediah, who's leaning against a wagon. There's actually something I wanted to ask you. Stallion tilts his head. Do you know anything about a monster around these parts? Depends on the monster. But yeah, I know some stories. A friend saw a big gray one. Red eyes, smelled real bad. He mulls it over for a moment. Ain't no monster I've ever heard of. Sorry. Must really have been a dream then. There's another creature that's been getting spotted around Echo, though. What's it look like? That's the strange part. Doesn't look like much of anything. My buddy Avery has a friend who has a sister who claims she saw it while doing laundry. Said it had no fur and smelled like burning flesh. Kind of like charcoal. There's Flynn. Oh, God. It was so mangled looking she didn't even know what species it was. Well, that's odd. Yeah. Anyway, it did nothing, just stood there. When she turned around, it was gone. That evening, all the chickens were dead in the coop. Avery told me they had to sell the farm. Smells more like bullshit than burning flesh, if you ask me. Just one of those drinking stories, yeah? It was probably sickness that did the chickens in, if it's true at all. Same goes for this canyon. People are just seeing things they want to see and hearing things they want to hear. I've been going on this route for years, and I've never once heard voices. Folks like to blame things on a boogeyman they don't understand. Mr. Tibbetts right there probably knows that all too well. He gestures to the sleeping weasel draped over my chest. He said you were the only guide willing to take him. I was. Not too many folks in Echo are keen on strangers and foreigners. But like your fox friend said, we're all a little strange. Weasel stirs and brings his paws to his eyes, rubbing underneath his foggy glasses. He yawns as he turns toward me, and I get a good whiff of his breath spray. Morning, sunshine.
Morning?
Looks around in a panic, flailing against me in an effort to get up. Damn near hits me in the face.
How long did I sleep?
A couple of minutes.
Oh. Whew.
He stops struggling and takes a breath like it's his first this year.
Thank goodness.
He shuts his eyes again.
Where's Murdoch?
A bit further down the trail, he left to take some pictures.
I don't suppose you could fetch him for me.
What for?
I need a few pictures of myself taken for the thesis. This would be a perfect backdrop.
Sure you don't want to get some more sleep? You were looking pretty peaceful there.
You don't have to worry so much, Sam. I can take care of myself.
Scrapes in his arms from a few days ago tell a different story. What are you going to do while I'm gone?
I shall prepare the food for this afternoon and go over our next course of action with Jebediah. And perhaps change into something more comfortable, not to mention dry.
What kind of food are we going to eat?
Canned beans.
Oh. My favorite. Weasel gets off me so I can leave, pressing his muzzle to my cheek for a moment.
Thank you, Samuel. I appreciate it.
Don't mention it. Where did that damn fox run off to? I've been walking down this trail for over 10 minutes and still no sign of him. Did he slip and fall? I hope not. I don't want to look any more suspicious than I already do. I finally see his bushy tail peeking out from behind a boulder a ways off near the edge. I can catch his smell even from all the way over here. It's gotta be him. I near the boulder, dirt crunching under my paws, step by step. The camera clicks. I hear mumbling. Murdoch. Fox turns around, a grin on his face. Samuel. Anyone ever tell you shouldn't sneak up on a man standing near the edge of a canyon? Anyone ever tell you that standing so close to the edge ain't a good idea? Got me there. Heard you mumbling. I've been talking for a while, but the canyon hasn't replied yet. Guess the stories weren't true after all. I'm almost disappointed. Cliff told me to come get you. Said he wants his pictures taken. I'll head right on over then. Can't leave the boss waiting. I'm still dying to know what scared you off the other day.
I already told you.
Was it the truth? I hesitate. Sam, if you have any information that can help... I don't. Good. He doesn't know. I'm worried about you. Why? Because we're partners. You, Jebediah, Cliff, and I. I already told you everything. All right, I'll stop prodding. There's something else I wanted to talk about anyway. He wipes the sweat from his brow with a sleeve. What is it now? Cliff. You know, he's rather smitten with you. I couldn't tell. I suppose he does make it rather obvious. What about you? How do you feel? What are you getting at? You jealous of something? Oh, not at all. Quite the opposite, in fact. Damn Fox is speaking in riddles again. I'd like to make a proposition. Another wager of yours. It better not cost me any money. I think you like my terms this time. Which are... When we get back to Echo, the three of us are going to spend a night together. I tilt my head. You mean... Yes. What makes you think he'll say yes? What makes him think I'll say yes? Call it a hunch. I don't care much for hunches. I don't care hunch for munches. I've seen the way he looks at you. I've seen the way you look at the both of us. You're both easy on the eyes. I can't help myself. It's just a proposition, though. I don't need an answer right away. Will I get paid? If Cliff's to be believed, we'll be famous men when we get back, perhaps even rich enough to afford you. So yes. He walks past me, clapping me on the shoulder. Give it some thought, won't you? With my plans being as they are, I don't have to. A thought isn't too bad, though. There's worse-looking clients out there giving me one of his grins again. Murdoch goes back up the trail, stuffing his paws in his pockets. Once I don't see him anymore, I walk over to where the fox stood, to the very edge. Wind steady. It's warm and dry, kicking up a little sand. I have to shield my eyes. Damn near feels like I'm being cooked alive. At least the view's pretty. Not sure if it's worth hiking all the way, but I'd rather be here than with a client back home. Very, very carefully I sit down and grab my flask. My legs dangle over the edge. Take a swig. The water's heaven on my tongue. I swallow and have another drink right after. They can miss me for a little while. Besides, after all that talk, I'm curious. Might as well try, right? Hello! I shout into the canyon, then lean back. Nothing. Don't know what I was expecting. Pour the rest of the flask's contents down my throat. The wind's howling around me now, whistling in my ears. Almost sounds like it's screaming. A gust kicks up, knocking my flask out of my paws. Try to grab it before it falls, but it knocks me off balance, forward. For a moment, more than my legs are dangling off the canyon's edge. I get a sinking feeling in the pit of my stomach. This is how I die. I dig my claws into the ground, barely managing to keep myself from sliding off. The flask tumbles down below. I can hear a garbled growl rise above the noise in the wind. What was that? What's going on? Samuel! I crawl back from the edge as far as I can. I'm still breathing hard. My throat burns. A brown paw on my shoulder brings me back. Oh, hey! It's Adventurer Cliff! Looking a little more suited to the environment. I look up and see Cliff looking down on me. He told me about them when we were walking down to the town hall this morning, but I almost don't recognize him in his new clothes. What's wrong? Nothing. I wouldn't say it's nothing when you've been gone for almost an hour. An hour? I look at my watch again. An hour past noon. I could have sworn it's only been about 2 minutes. Murdoch returned a little while ago, but you never showed. You had us worried. Are you all right? You look rattled, to say the least. I'm fine. I just heard voices. I nod. Might have been the wind. True. The wind is rather strong up here. I must admit, I did try myself. Out of curiosity, of course. There's no way I'd believe in such tall tales. No luck, however. Just like Murdoch. I didn't like it. Look at it differently, Samuel. You should count yourself lucky to experience a phenomenon like that. I don't feel lucky. Sorry. We'll put a pin on it. What matters is that you're safe. He extends a paw I take all too happily. By the way, he leans in. It's a good thing you missed our afternoon meal. I could barely stomach those beans. It's not about having a refined palate either. He whispers. They were revolting. After meeting back up with the rest of the group and eating some stale bread, we head further down the trail. It's much easier than going up. Scenery is getting more lush and less dusty. Thank God, I was getting sick of the boulders. Even though the wagon's creaking an awful lot with every bump in the road, it doesn't break again. Not sure I could stand sitting around longer. Cliff's in the wagon now, leaving Murdoch and I to walk side by side the rest of the way. I'm still thinking about what he said earlier. I have never had 2 clients at the same time. Usually people keep to themselves, as they should in a town like Echo. Regardless, though, I've made up my mind. I'm going to see if I can sneak out of camp tonight. I've looked at Jebediah's map. I know where to go and what to do if I want to. I can even take some supplies for myself. Cliff's brought too much food, he won't miss it. He might miss me, though. But if I don't leave tonight, I'll have to go back to Echo, to Nick, to James, to William, to the gallows. I'd be a fool not to take this chance. At least whatever happens to Nick will have been for something. Nikolai. I try to shake the thought out of my head. Put yourself first, Sam. Ooh, here we are at the camp. We reach the heart of the forest by nightfall. Just like Jebediah said, there's a stream nearby. Cliff and Murdoch go to wash up while me and Jebediah unpack the supplies and feed the donkeys. After gathering some firewood, we even managed to get a nice campfire going. By the time the sun's almost completely set, only orange light filtering through the tree leaves, we're all huddled around it, swapping stories, drinking. Even Jebediah's resting for a change. Hey, look at this motley crew.
He turned around, and there was the miner's ghost, heaving a pickaxe right above his head. "You come for my gold, I'll come for your life." The soldier was never heard from again. They say that if you go near the mines at exactly midnight, you can hear the miners striking rock, looking for gold. Thud, thud, thud. He continues to pantomime the entire thing. That was a terrible story. Why did the soldier even enter the mines in the first place? Why didn't he just turn and back the first time he hit the ghost? How could there be a message written in fresh blood if the ghost didn't have any to begin with? There was no one else in the mines. And you didn't mention a corpse? Fox waves a paw. Oh, hush, I wasn't really trying with that one. If you'd like to tell a tale, go right ahead. Like that's deflecting a little criticism there. I'm dying to hear some Batavian stories. Yo, I knew it. I knew if you looked in the background, you'd see some creepy shit. Look right there. Like right here. Y'all see a figure with some fucking eyes right there? You see that shit? I knew there was going to be some creepy shit. I would, but I don't want to terrify you, Murdoch. I'll still require your services after tonight. Just admit you don't have a story that can match mine. He drinks from the whiskey flask being shared. There's nothing scary about ghost tales. Men frighten me more than monsters or ghosts ever could. Doesn't seem to stop you from cozying up to Sam here. Murdoch! I look for a response from Jebediah, but the horse is still staring into the flames. You right, Jebediah? A fire crackles. Yep. Speaking of Jebediah, Cliff and I want your opinion on something. No, don't! We got talking while you were fixing the wagon, and... He pauses. He's really milking this for all it's worth. Cliff buries his face in his palms, groaning. You're a horse, right? You only notice now? Beside the point. Is it true that you've got a big... He gestures to his crotch, spilling some whiskey on himself. Jebediah doesn't seem impressed. What do you mean by that? Sam? Care to weigh in? I can't answer that. You spend quite some time alone together. Don't tell me all you did was fix the wagon. That's all we did. I think back to my time at the hip. I've only ever had 3 horse clients. Right, I suppose we'll never know, Cliff. That's enough out of you. Groof laughs. I look at my watch. Murdoch notices. I suppose it is about time, isn't it? What's our itinerary for tomorrow? We'll be cutting through the forest for most of it. Shade. I like it. We'll be out by evening and reach the settlement by noon the day after. The forest's that big? Then more treacherous than you might think. Plenty of things that can kill you if they sink their teeth into you. I thought we'd left James Hendricks behind in Echo. I'd have laughed if he wasn't a client of mine.
Just keep an eye out. Snakes and spiders about. Spiders? And plenty of them. Had one in my tent one time, didn't end well. Did you get bit? I mean, it didn't end well for the spider. Our fearless leader. The fox stretches, handing Jebediah the whiskey bottle. The horse takes a swig. And with that, I think I'll retreat to my tent. We got a long day ahead of us.
That we do.
The stoat looks at me with those big blue eyes.
I think I'll stay up a little while longer. Perhaps I'll do some stargazing.
Fuck. As long as you two stargaze quietly. Jebediah stands up as well, poking the fire with a stick. I'll go to bed too. There's a book I want to finish. I'll see you fellas at dawn. Good night. The fox and the horse both retreat for the night, leaving me and the stoat alone together. Aw, look at this. Look at him. Fucking Cliff looks so cute. This kid isn't pretty loud. I doubt I could sleep even if I wanted to. You're not joining him?
I need some quiet before bed.
You ain't gonna get it here.
I didn't mean quite so literally.
He slips a little closer, grabbing my paw. I let him.
The stars are beautiful tonight. They don't shine this bright in Shippersburg.
I guess your painter friend can learn a thing or two from us.
Anthony Van Howlin...
What the fuck? He laughs.
I suppose he could. Were he still alive?
He's dead?
Has been for quite a few years. You couldn't have known. I wonder what he would have painted with this scenery. A warm, inviting, crackling fire, a beautiful full moon, and even better company.
He squeezes my paw.
Thank you for helping to realize my dream, Samuel.
What are you gonna do once your thesis is finished?
I intend to travel back to Europa to finish my studies. After that, I don't know. Might travel the world for a while to study more cultures. But I'll have to return to Batavia eventually.
To your family?
Yes. My father isn't getting any younger. And they're expecting me to become the man of the house, as it were.
You don't sound too happy about it.
You heard those men the other day, Samuel. You heard the sheriff. I'm not exactly the pinnacle of masculinity. I'm not sure I even qualify as a man in my father's eyes. I might have sailed to a whole different continent, but the comments and the jeers are the same, no matter where I go. Perhaps I was foolish to think that in this wild, untamed frontier, I'd be free to love who I want, no matter their gender.
I'd say. But I do feel sorry for the little guy. Fuck what the rest says. You don't gotta answer to anyone but yourself.
I wouldn't have put it so bluntly, but yes, you have a point.
He leans on over and hugs me tight, little weasel paws clamping on my back.
Thank you, Sam.
What was that? Okay, I wanted to check to make sure the little fucking... There we go. What was that? Hold up. I want to make sure y'all hear the shit. Okay, here's the first sound. Sounded like me when I first wake up in the morning. And I got no fucking clue what the hell that is. Yes, I know. Fucking okay, we get it. Fuck. Oh, no. Oh, what the fuck? Damn game crashed. Well, that was fucking spooky as shit, wasn't it? I don't know what that noise was. I don't know what in the holy shit. Looks like I gotta restart Murdoch's fucking route from the beginning. Honestly, I don't know what the fuck. I do really like the tenderness, the getting to know each other. I love all of that, the character interaction. It's very nice. I have no fucking clue what that sound was, though. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and end this recording here. I'll start up the Murdoch thing if there is a Murdoch update. I don't honestly know. But either way, thank you very much for watching this episode and the previous episodes, because this was definitely getting cut up a little bit, of the Smoke Room. I'm sorry again for the lack of visual novel content. Like, I am still struggling to sit in this chair, and this is the best my back has felt in a while. I'm still taking dozens of ibuprofen a day at this point. I'm doing my best. But it would mean the world to me if you gave those all of the above episodes a chance. It really would. But anyway, thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, I've been the Trained Up Professional, and bye.